Welcome to Kindness Stories, where we bring you real-life inspired tales that prove kindness, courage, and hidden strength can change lives. If you ever doubted that quiet people can have the strongest hearts, this story will make you believe. Again, make sure you watch till the end because it will show you why you should never judge anyone by how they look. Now, let's begin. Her name was Zara. She was 24 years old, soft-spoken, with big brown eyes that always seemed to look down at her notebook instead of up at people's faces. She had recently enrolled in a small evening class at her local college, hoping to finish her degree in business management while working her day job at the local bookstore. Zara lived in a modest neighborhood with her mother and younger brother, who was still in high school. She had taken on the responsibility of helping her family. After her father passed away a few years ago, she worked long hours at the bookstore, always polite to the customers, always helpful to the students who came in looking for used textbooks, and always the first to offer a kind word if someone seemed troubled. People who met Zara thought she was shy, maybe even timid. Her classmates barely noticed her when she walked into the classroom every evening. She always sat near the back, quietly taking notes, never drawing attention to herself. But there were a few people who did notice her, for the wrong reasons. In Zara's class were 3 students who liked to think of themselves as the cool kids. They were not exactly kids, they were in their late 20s, but they acted like high school bullies. The leader of the pack was a guy named Damien. He was tall, with slick back hair and an arrogant smirk that seemed glued to his face. He had 2 friends, Josh and Monica, who followed him around, laughed at his cruel jokes, and encouraged his worst behavior. At first, they ignored Zara, but soon they realized she was an easy target. She never talked back, she never defended herself, and that made them feel powerful. Started with whispers. Damien would mutter insults under his breath when Zara passed his desk. Josh would snicker and drop rude comments about her clothes. Monica would roll her eyes dramatically and fake gagging sounds whenever Zara walked by. Zara tried her best to pretend she didn't hear them. She focused on her books, on her goals, on her family's dreams resting on her shoulders. But the bullies didn't stop. One evening, after class ended late, Zara was gathering her things when Damien walked up to her desk and blocked her way. Hey, mouse girl, he sneered. Where you running off to? Got some more boring books to read. Zara quietly tucked her pen into her bag. Please let me pass, she said softly. Josh stepped closer. Or what? You'll tell the teacher. Monica cackled. She wouldn't dare. She doesn't even speak loud enough for anyone to hear her. Zara tried to move, but Damien grabbed her notebook and flipped through the pages. Look at this handwriting. So neat, like a good little robot. You ever do anything fun, mouse girl? Zara took a deep breath. Please give it back. Damien slammed the notebook down, but not before ripping out a few pages. They fluttered to the floor like broken wings. Zara knelt to pick them up. She felt the heat rising in her chest, but she swallowed it. Her mother had always told her, stay calm, stay gentle. Violence never solves anything. So she stayed calm. She went home that night and taped her pages back into her notebook. But the bullying only got worse. They would pull her chair back when she tried to sit. They'd hide her bag in the trash can. Once, they even followed her outside after class and threw insults at her until she got onto the bus, trying not to cry in front of everyone. She came home that night and her brother, Amir, saw her wiping tears from her eyes. He was 16, but fiercely protective of his sister. Who did this? He demanded. I'll go to your college. And Zara put her hand on his shoulder. No, Amir, it's okay. They'll get bored eventually. But they didn't get bored. One day, the professor announced that the class would do group presentations. Zara dreaded this. She hated standing in front of people, hated the feeling of eyes staring at her, waiting for her to stumble. To her horror, she was placed in the same group as Damien, Josh, and Monica. When the day came, Zara did her part. She stayed up all night preparing slides, gathering research, making sure the presentation was perfect. When they stood in front of the class, Damien looked at her with his trademark smirk. Let the mouse go first. He drawled. She loves doing our work. Zara's voice shook at first, but she powered through. She delivered her slides flawlessly, her words clear and confident. For a moment, The class actually paid attention to her. When she finished, she looked at Damien, hoping he would just do his part and let it be over. Instead, he leaned into the microphone and said, "Thank you, Zara, for doing all the boring work for us. We didn't have to lift a finger." The class laughed uncomfortably. The professor frowned but said nothing. Zara felt her cheeks burn. She sat down, staring at her notes, fighting back tears. After class, as they were leaving, Damien made sure to walk right behind her. Hey, mouse girl, he taunted. Next time, make our part more interesting. Yeah, or maybe do the whole thing yourself. That's all you're good for. Monica chimed in. Poor thing, she looks like she's about to cry again. Josh added, bet she'd faint if anyone actually stood up to her. That was the last straw. Zara turned around slowly. She looked at them, really looked at them, and for the first time, she didn't look away. I'm asking you one last time. Leave me alone. Damien laughed. Or what? You'll squeak at us? Zara's eyes narrowed. Her voice dropped to a tone they had never heard from her. Or you'll regret it. They burst into mocking laughter. Monica pulled out her phone, recording. What are you gonna do, mouse girl? Cry on camera? Zara didn't answer. She turned and walked away. The next class was on a Wednesday. Zara didn't come. The bullies gloated about how they'd scared her off. The professor said nothing. He was more interested in finishing the syllabus than dealing with petty drama. But on Friday, Zara came back. She walked in a few minutes early, wearing simple jeans and a loose sweatshirt. Her hair was tied back, and she looked calm. She sat in her usual seat, opened her notebook, and waited. Damien spotted her and nudged Josh and Monica. Look who crawled back. They surrounded her desk. Monica leaned close. AWW, did you miss us? Zara didn't flinch. You're going to leave me alone today. Damien scoffed. Make us. Zara closed her notebook, stood up, and for the first time, looked him straight in the eye. Outside. Now. Monica's jaw dropped. Josh blinked. Damien barked a laugh. What? You want to fight me? Mouse girl. Zara's eyes were steady. Outside. Now. The entire class went silent. Some students peeked over their shoulders. The professor hadn't arrived yet. Someone whispered, "Is she serious?" Damien puffed his chest. Fine. Let's go. Everyone. Come watch the mouse squeak. They stepped outside into the college courtyard. A few other students followed, curious to see what was about to happen. Zara dropped her bag gently on the bench, removed her sweatshirt, and underneath, she wore a plain black athletic top. That's when people noticed something they'd never seen before. On her left wrist was a small tattoo of a fist wrapped in tape. Damien scoffed. Nice drawing. Gonna punch me with that. Zara didn't respond. She stepped into the middle of the courtyard, her feet shoulder-width apart. She took a deep breath. Her eyes never left Damien. Come on, she said calmly. Try. Damien shrugged, cracking his knuckles. He lunged at her, expecting her to flinch, maybe duck, maybe run, but Zara didn't move. When Damien swung, Zara stepped aside, grabbed his wrist, and twisted it so fast he gasped in pain. In one fluid motion, she planted her foot behind his leg, pulled his arm, and slammed him gently but firmly onto the ground. It happened so fast that Monica and Josh just stood there, their mouths open. Damien groaned, trying to get up. Zara stood over him. Get up, she said quietly. He scrambled to his feet, face red with anger. He charged at her again. Swinging wildly, Zara blocked his punch, ducked under his arm, and tapped his ribs with her elbow. Not hard, just enough to knock the wind out of him. He stumbled back, gasping. Monica hissed. Damien, get her, but Damien hesitated. He looked into Zara's eyes and saw something there that made his bravado vanish. Absolute control. No fear, just calm focus. Josh, trying to save face for his friend, lunged at Zara from the side. She pivoted, grabbed his shirt collar, and spun him onto the grass beside Damien. He landed with a thud, groaning. Monica backed away, dropping her phone. You're crazy,